Ah, yes. F1 car at Monza. Round number 9 of the Pacific Major started out just like this. We knew it was going to be a tough run, but this is a hell of a start. This is actually the safest it'd be the entire time. The conditions are actually pretty slick. The grip level is pretty low. The F1 car actually has a lot of wheel spin in the first gear, and definitely didn't have a lot of experience in the car. Monza is a fun track in itself, but me and the F1 car do not exactly get along. And just because I was so busy and only had about a week to put any time in this thing, it was all about being able to make it for 53 laps. So yeah, spent the time getting comfortable as much as possible, and that meant that I wasn't going to be terribly quick. Come out of the first chicane, it was a second gear affair. And even through the Ascari chicane, which is coming up here, it would still short shift quite a bit. Anything I could do to try to make it around for 53 laps without making any mistakes. Still, or even there, run a little bit wide. Try not to make mistakes as much as possible and just make it to the end. The entire time was going to be all about a one-stop strategy. I didn't know what everybody else was going to do, but I figured I knew I was going to start pretty far back. We actually were 22nd on the grid out of, I think it was 25 total. That's the first lap right there, and we actually made it up to 12th. So 22nd, 12th. Get about almost a little bit past halfway, and it was just before our pit stop. And actually we're right along right now. This is my best lap right here. This is a 128.7, I think. And be able to do 127.2s when we were full light with a grippy track in practice. We knew we were going to be a little bit slow just because of the grip levels. So a 128s, the 128s was what we were aiming for. We knew a lot of the guys were going to be in the 126s, and we were about 2 seconds off. So we were hoping that we would gain about 36 seconds-ish on anybody who was doing a two-stop strategy. So it was just going to be about trying to put down as good a laps as possible, which we were able to be in the ballpark given the grip levels. So as you can tell here, I'm not on the throttle hard like some of the fast guys are, especially up here through Ascari. I'm going to get down to third gear and then kind of baby fourth gear after a short shift after the first left. And like I said, it's just about trying to be as consistent and smooth as possible, which was able to get us 28s. We were 28s and 29s for the most part in the later part of the first stint. Again, we were going to try to split the thing in just about half. Little did I know, a lot of other people were going to be doing the exact same thing. A lot of people actually went with a one-stop strategy, so 128 wasn't going to be good enough for a good finish. Right after our pit stop, one thing that changed was I was second-guessing myself on my fuel load. I thought I had it figured out, but I was looking at how many laps had finished and all that kind of stuff, and I started second-guessing myself and actually added a little bit more fuel. I originally thought that might have cost me big time, as the second part of the race I seemed a lot slower. Turns out it was from this. A driver had gone off in that chicane. I lost focus for a second, missed my braking point, and actually as I went straight off, I damaged the right front wing, which we get a closer look at here in a second. I had no idea that the car was messed up, but that actually changed the rest of the race for me. As you see right about here, that right front wing is actually bent pretty good, and we went from running 28s and 29s in the first part. You can see here on it's lap 33, right after my pit stop. Everything after that's 31s, 30s maybe. It was basically 31s the entire time. You look at the early part, it costs us a lot of time. It just says how fragile these cars are. You can't bend them up. So, yeah, and we lost a lot of time in the second half of the race, which is too bad because the entire time the goal was a top 15. And if we got lucky, maybe we get a top 10. I feel like a top 15 was definitely in the cards. We got a lot of help with that turn 1 incident start. But a top 15 was in the cards. We're actually 15th here. This is the final lap. And we're inside the goal range, even with that damage, etc. Just trying to hold on to it there. That is for position. Right there. For the life of me, I can't remember who it is. I want to say it's Stephen Paulson, who'd been reeling us in. Again, we were losing big chunks of time at this point. We're on 31s. And I thought that we'd be able to hold on to it all the way through, even with what was going on. But it's too bad. I mean, if we had been able to run those 29s, 28s, we might have been able to grab a few more spots. The reality was we were never going to be a shot at the win, or honestly, a top 10 would have been like a win. But yeah, we're on 15th right now. We're feeling like we have a good shot at it, and then coming through the Ascari chicane. There's a bit of an issue in front of us. The car is slow, and in hindsight, I probably could have been safer on this attempt, but he was in the way. I cut the course, grabbed a curb, and around we go. I end up losing one spot. We go to 16th here. That's really too bad. I mean, at the end of the day, though, we ended up getting 16th instead of 15th, so that's 79 points instead of 80 points. At the end of the day, it's not going to be the end of the deal. I hope it's not a championship changer. If it is, big time problem. But the thing is with that 1 point loss, you have to shake it off. I mean, I knew this was going to be a throw to begin with. But it's just too bad to end it like that. Pretty cool though, these cars going through the chicanes. Do a little slow-mo here. I mean, I loathe this car. It's just, you have to be so on the edge to be fast, and I just don't spend any time in it. I literally bought the car just for the series. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Brazilian Grand Prix. You see here, I cut this way more than I probably had to. Yeah, well, we got to do it one more time this year. But for now, it's going to be on to the next race, which is the Petit Le Mans for us. 150 minutes at Road Atlanta, the GT3 car. Something I'm a little bit more of a fan of. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to put this behind us, and we're still in a decent spot in the championship. So, wish us luck. Thanks everybody for hanging out with the Pacific Majors recap from Monza. We got 3 more races to go. We'll see you in Road Atlanta.